Yo, bro. So today we're going to talk about how to deal with big, stressful tasks. First of all, why should you listen to me? Well, over the last year, I've been doing both A levels and full time education with uni for first year. So technically, I should be doing like 70 to 80 hours of education a week. But obviously, I'm not doing that, right? I systemized everything, which is exactly what I'm going to show you for how you can minimize workload and kind of increase your efficiency as much as possible because that, in my opinion, will reduce your stress so much, and it's what has allowed me to get distinction every uni assignment and hopefully achieve the target grades I want, while at the same time allowing me time to work out daily, go out with friends, start businesses and stuff like that. So, the way I systemize everything is in three main segments. So, firstly is my goal. So, my goal, say, for my A levels is to achieve AAB. Now, then I'm like, okay, so what's gonna be my weekly work that I'm gonna do? What do I actually need to do, day to day sort of, where I can achieve some results? So let me just show you here. I've taken little examples of different times of my timetable document, and I have everything here and I'll explain it through. So, firstly, these were my goals: get AAB in A levels, get distinction in all uni assignments, and I would first put it in weekly work. So this is like on Wednesday, I would say, okay, I'm gonna do 4 hours of work, post a YouTube video, stuff like that. This is just a random week. Like I've screenshotted it was this week actually, and it's just a little kind of tally of what work I'm doing, what work I have done, the ones highlighted in red are the things I have done. And then from that, at the end of the week, this is important because back when it was in A levels, now I'm in summer now, was I could see, okay, so I have time plotted to revise economics, time plotted to revise psychology, time plotted to revise business. Well, why am I revising economics and psychology and don't want to revise business? Imagine this was economics here and I had done all of economics. This was psychology, I'd done all of psychology like consistently, but then I kept missing business. Say the coding here instead was business. I could then systemize and see, okay, these are the things I'm missing out on, and then work from that. Because this is very important that you get kind of a holistic picture of your task. A lot of tasks probably aren't going to be bigger than a week, or if they are, you likely have a lot of time to deal with them. So breaking it up in a longer time frame of a little plan is very helpful to get you moving. If, for example, right now you need to do revision, say for your A levels, as I'm saying, or your uni assignments, breaking it down into a weekly work task of what you're going to do is extremely helpful, firstly, to get you motivated and kind of make everything seem plausible. When you're sitting there and think, I have to do so many hours, or this time is going to take me 20 hours to do, it seems so illogical for the human mind to kind of just start. I don't know why. When the task is too big, we just shut down and we don't want to do it. That's the stress response of it. It's too stressful, I'm going to do nothing. So by breaking it up weekly, it gives me some sort of picture of how everything at the end of the week will flow together. So say for this week, for example, start posting some content, code a little bit on my business. This work is just like linked to everything. Do some appointment setting practice for everything to match up. Now then I take this, so say Wednesday for example, and then I have my to-do list. My to-do list actually never changes. This is just a screenshot of my to-do list for today, and the things highlighted when they're done. Blah, 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 whatever. Workout here, some work time, mental health stuff, diet, praying Bible, maintaining my house. So this is just a little this is a little to-do list, and it's very helpful to keep you sort of organized. But what I like to do is I like to take this and take it a step beyond that. So then I put this into a timetable for where every single part of my day, a little bit is cut off here because it wasn't going to fit nicely, is systematized in a way where this is my perfect day, right? And it's not about sticking to this 100%, it's about sticking to it as best as I can. And that's what I really like about the system. And I truly believe the timetable is the most effective way to get you productive. Now, the reason why I have timetable at the end of this, and I didn't just tell you, get a timetable, like here, right, is because if you don't have a goal and then a weekly aim, a big weekly task, a little chunk of solid work that you can see, it's very difficult to then make your day-to-day motivating and effective. So I would really recommend, firstly, figure out your goal. It can be really simple. Mine was literally one sentence of a grade I wanted or get a distinction, right? On all assignments. The goal itself doesn't have to be super intricate and complicated, it just has to be something measurable and achievable. And then break it down into weekly work, so you can sit down, and I know a lot of people do this, they have like a work timetable. A lot of schools preach this as well, where you will sit down and you'll say, okay, Monday I'll do psychology, Wednesday I'll do econ, Thursday and Tuesday I'll rest, stuff like that, whatever that may be for you. As little work as you want or as much work as you want to get done, plotting it down is going to increase your motivation tenfold. It's going to increase your consistency tenfold. And if you're not being consistent, you're also held accountable to that because you can see that you haven't done it. Next step, focus on the reward for extra motivation, because it is very difficult to stay motivated day to day. When I was starting to revise for my A levels or for an exam, that exam may be in 6 months. Do you think I'm motivated today to sit down for 3 hours and revise for a thing that's in 6 months? Of course not. So you have to focus on the reward of the situation. This is very, very, very important. So instead of focusing on it like a stressful aspect, focus on the benefits of it. So, for example, if it's working out for you, and working out for you for a competition or a kickboxing fight is a very, very big and difficult task. But you break it down daily, you break it down into your training, and then you focus on the reward from that. Okay, but then I'm going to get my peak physique. Then I'm going to win the fight, and I'm going to get all the benefits from that. I'm going to get the confidence from that. Even if it's a bad task, say you want to renovate your room and you can't be asked to renovate your room. Well, you can think at the end of that, okay, but at least that task will be out the way. There's no point focusing on the stressful aspects, even though that stress will come. That stress is natural. It's going to come 100%. But again, then that's when we go back to this, and instead of focusing on the big task, we only think of the nice reward we're going to get, and if we start getting stressed, we just fall back onto our system. We have the goal, we have the weekly work, we have the daily work. Especially just try focus on daily work, focus on your timetable, stick to it as best as you can. It's not 100% follow day, that's your perfect day. And you just try stick to that as best as you can. And finally, and very importantly, recap on progress and speak to people around you. So what do I mean by this? So now that you've focused on your reward, you're motivated, you're doing your consistent work, how do you then recap on the progress effectively? So at the end of this, you can look on your weekly work, which is why I like to be a sort of mediator between to-do list and / timetable and big goal in the future. You can look back and see how you're doing, see the areas you're lacking and see the areas you're doing really well in. Feel proud of yourself and feel accountable for areas you're not doing so well in. And simply think, how will I do a little bit better next week? What was really holding me back? Was it the fact that you'd wake up without an alarm? So you'd wake up and you would instantly not be on your timetable. That's a big one for me personally. If my alarm rings and I don't wake up at the exact time, I stay in bed for a little bit longer. It's really a terrible feeling to, as soon as you start, already be behind. So if it's stuff like that, okay, maybe you'll set your alarm 2 minutes before your timetable starts. Little things you can try like that will really push you forward. And speak to people around you. So, sort of gossiping with your friends about the exam coming up can both motivate you and really calm you down, and it's really fun. Or that can be speaking to a parent or someone you feel comfortable with. If there's no one you really feel comfortable with to that stage, I would really recommend journaling that. Not specifically, why am I not comfortable speaking about this? More specifically, okay, how have I been doing this week? Little check-in with yourself, how you're feeling about it, how your stress levels, and then you'll act accordingly. If you're feeling completely overwhelmed by the situation, instead of thinking, okay, I'll now double my work, triple my work, I'll really try hard, you're not at that stage currently. You're unable to do that work. It's overwhelming. I would literally say, cut it down. Do as little as you feel comfortable with. So say when I have like a really, really bad period and I'm not sticking to my timetable at all, I'm not working out, that will happen every few months. I'll have maybe a week that's completely terrible. If I keep waking up and thinking, okay, I'll fight it tomorrow, I'll revise for 6 hours because today I didn't do all the 4 I wanted. I only did 2 today. Well, tomorrow I'm going to do 6 to catch up. Well, today you couldn't even do 2. Or you could do 2, but you couldn't reach the 4. So why do you think tomorrow you can do 6? You have to be very nice and graceful to yourself and think, okay, how about tomorrow I'll try hit 2 hours and 10 minutes. Screw the 4 hours, screw my goal, screw all that. Just try do my best, do a little bit better than today. And it's a bit of a hit to your ego, but literally after 3-4 days you'll be completely back on track. And especially with the big tasks, that's really important, because the more time you have away from your focus, from your timetable, from your weekly goals, it's really, really easy to kind of fall into a deep and deep rut and then just say, screw it, I'm never going to reach my goal, it's gone, just forget about it. So I really hope that helps. Let me know any questions you have with this in the comments. Much love, bro.